Good morning everybody, and welcome back to Louisiana Homestead. Today I'm going to be working with some elderberries. I want to show y'all what the bush looks like first off. This is the bush. It starts out with a bunch of white flowers and then it develops into these berries. They start out green and then they turn to this black color. So this is the elderberry bush. This is what the leaves look like on it. Okay, my daughter-in-law's daddy got a yard plumb full of these bushes and they're all ripe right now. And she's been collecting them for me and bringing them here. I'll put them into the freezer, and today's the day that I'm going to be able to get them off of the vines. So I made up this contraption, which I do something similar every year, but this year I'm using a retired milk crate and a 5-gallon bucket. And I've got a unscented trash bag in it. It's lining the 5-gallon bucket, and I have it around this milk crate as well. So I'm going to get my elderberries and start breaking them off in here. This is what she brought me, and this batch I've had in the freezer. There's a good weight to this bag. She brought a bunch of them. What I plan to do is sit here and break some of these off. And I just want to show y'all how it goes. Here's the frozen bunch of them. Just get it on there. Now I clean all this. And just rack it on there, and all the berries fall to the bottom into the bag. So that's how I go about getting these off of here. So that's how I go about getting them off of there. I'm gonna go on ahead and get this whole bag done. I was able to just lift the bag right out of that 5-gallon bucket, and of course I did wear gloves because I didn't want to end up with purple hands. But this is what I got out of it. I just lifted the bag right out, brought it and put it in the sink, and now I'm going to put them into some gallon-sized Ziploc bags. When you're working with these, make sure that you not only wearing gloves, but whatever workspace you're working at, that you clean stuff up immediately, because they do stain. If you drop them on your cabinet or in your sink, you want to wipe that up immediately. Now this is a stainless steel sink. I rinsed it out, and everything came out of it easily. I had a couple berries splash up here. I wiped those off and those came up. And I used an old rag that I didn't care about because it will stain the rag. It will, most likely the stain will stay on the rag. Anyway, I got 2 gallons, and each one weighs about 4.5 pounds. Which this will be enough to make me 1 batch of wine. And she brought me some more, so I'm gonna do the same thing with them. I'm gonna freeze them and then go through the same method. Take them off. They work a lot better frozen like that, to take them off and to put them in the bags, everything, because they're hard when they're frozen. When they're thawed out and they're soft, they burst a lot easier. So I find working with them frozen is the best. They come off easier, and just everything's easier when they're frozen. Also, when you're taking them off outside, definitely do it outside. Don't do it on the porch. You see, I got a couple of stains I'm gonna have to deal with now. I should have did the whole process out there in the rocks. But all in all, it worked very well. It's the fastest it actually ever went for me. So I like this process very good, using the retired milk crate and the 5-gallon bucket. Worked very, very good with the unscented trash bag. Make sure you use unscented trash bags when you do this. Okay, some of you may be wondering, why am I fooling with these elderberries, or what are they? They have some medicinal uses. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be giving medical advice, but I'm just sharing some information that I've read and that you also can study and read for yourself. The information is all over the internet. It's in books, on YouTube. You can find out all kind of information on elderberry. It's got good healing properties is what I've read, and which I believe also because I've used this when I've had colds or flus, and I've found it to be helpful. I've find it to be helpful for my coughs, so respiratory issues, and it's also claims to be helpful for viruses and different kind of viral infections. Some of the viral infections include, I'm reading this, y'all, flus, herpes, and shingles. They're also used for treating upper respiratory infections. Powerful antiviral properties in the berries. And it says also, and which I also know, it makes some of the best syrups and wines you'll ever taste. And you can also do the jams and jellies with it as well, which I've also done and I like tremendously. So also the flowers can be used, which I've never experimented with making anything from the flowers, but the flowers also can be used. And I don't think the leaves can be used. I'm not sure about that. You'll have to do more studies on that for yourself. I've never used the leaves for anything, but I know you can use the flowers and you can use the berries. And also, you're not supposed to use the berries raw from what I've read. They should go through some sort of process for, like I was saying, with the wine or the syrups or jams or jellies. They would go through some kind of process. You wouldn't want to eat, you can eat a couple of them probably, is what this book is saying, but you wouldn't want to eat them in great quantity raw, because they could cause stomach upset. And the berries also, I think the little seeds in them contain a small amount of cyanide, so you wouldn't want to eat that raw. Definitely, I wouldn't advise it anyhow. But like I said, I'm just reading to you and sharing some of what I read. All right, that's my disclaimer and that's my information. I hope it helps y'all. Okay, so that's all for this video. I'll be making some wine with it sometime soon. I'll show that video whenever I get to that. Everything's in steps, like you get the berries in steps and then you freeze them and then get them off of the vine and put them into some gallon-sized bags, put them back in the freezer, and then whenever I get ready to do my next project with them, which I want to make wine with these. They make a very, very good wine, and I might make some jelly with them with my other batch because Mr. E wanted some jelly. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye now.